Let me, I'm muted. Let me check. Audio test. Blueberry pancake. If you guys can hear blueberry pancake, we're good to go, man. How we doing? Woo! It's game day. Hey, this is fire. I know people are hyped up for this one. This thing is getting hype everywhere. I saw a thing right before I went live here. It updated. It updated. No, hold up. Before I read that comment, I saw a thing right before I went live, and it said, "Don't overthink Lions -2." This is Bleacher Report. NFL betting guru Sam Richmond. I'm surprised. I feel like I would be the betting guru, so I'm surprised they didn't ask me. But anyway, still not sold on the Vikings, and he's fading 68% of the public. So I guess that means that 68% of the people, through whatever they're betting, is betting Vikings. Is that what that means, or do I not understand English? I don't know. Either way, that's as soon as I see it, I'm like, dude, it's been like this all week. Everybody's been talking about this. Well, I guess, I don't know. They've at least brought it up, the spread of the game, because everybody's like, what's going on with the spread here? So, yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. Shout out to the chat. I see you, Tyler. What's going on, Tyler? What's going on, Stefan? I think Rad will be in here at some point. I'm not sure how long we'll go. I try to start a little bit earlier. Rad was aiming for noon our time, so I'm thinking he'll be in here pretty soon, but we'll see. I sent him the link. What's another way to watch the game since I won't be able to? Cowboys will be on in my area. Who gave him that answer? I see you, Stefan. Shout to Stefan. Game Pass or NFL Plus. Okay, I didn't know they did that. I know they do that in the European version. I can do it. But what's the other thing? Oh, wait, hold up. How are you watching the game? Do you have cable or something? I find if they're out of my area, I usually can use the app, and then I can if it's on Fox, if I use the Fox Sports app, then I can go on there and pick the game that's in my area. But I don't know how that works. Actually, I'm not even sure because it's always in my area. But I think I can. I don't know, man. It's a mess. Okay, Tyler can hear it. We're good to go. My man, he said he's. What's up, Jason? How you doing with Jason? Jordan, that's what I use, and I am stationed. Oh, I don't even know where that is. In Kuwait? Oh, Kuwait. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. Okay, that's what's up. It's on CBS. Oh, snap. Okay. Oh, man, wait, hold up. It's on CBS. Dude, I hate when they play at CBS. Raise your hand just raise your hand real quick before we get into this if you hate them being on CBS. I can't stand when they're on CBS, man. Man, I hate it, bro. It's just something. It just gives me the weird vibe. It's this is weird. The pregame show's different. Why? I don't know. It's just everything feels weird, man. I feel like we never win when it's on CBS. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't like it. Anyway, this thing is, what is this? Oh, it's a pregame show. I'm like, what the heck am I getting tweets about? I put that up there. I'm sorry. Okay, Fox. Good. Okay, good. Okay, I like that. Good thing it's on Fox. That's what I thought. Let's do this, man. Let's jump in. Oh, by the way, actually, before we get this started, because I don't know when Rad's going to jump in here. If he does, I want to touch on this before he gets in here, because when he gets in here, we could talk about this game. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. You probably did. If you have Bleacher Report, which, by the way, shout out to Rad. He said to get this. I got it. They had me on their show. And ever since, I've loved it because it actually is always right up to the minute, which is sweet. But they put out, and you guys probably saw it. Let me actually get the right. Make sure. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to go through Bleacher Report. There was a report this morning that came out there, and I read it, and I was like, okay, I don't know if that's legit or if it's just they just threw it up there. I don't know. I don't know where this even comes from, because the first article I read on it, it didn't seem like there was any evidence. It was just kind of oh, this is how we feel. I'm like, all right, well, and this wasn't from Bleacher Report, I don't think. It was just the first report I saw. But then I saw another one that came up a little bit later, and maybe this is I don't know what's going on here, chat. What's up, Ryan? I'm gonna hit on this first. Not spend too long because I don't think it really means anything. But I'll hit on this first because you probably saw it, and then we'll get into the game. But this is the report that came out this morning. If you guys didn't see it, I don't know if this is the exact title. Okay, this is the title. The Lions plan for Jared Goff to remain quarterback one despite loaded 2023 NFL draft class. Okay, this is a different title. It says this. This is what I saw. And actually, the first time I saw this was according to Rap Sheet. So Ian Rappaport. As sources have explained, Goff is believed to be the starting quarterback, period, not just until someone else comes along, Rappaport reported. So this is the first thing that I saw that was oh, this isn't just maybe how someone feels. This seems okay, this might actually came from somewhere. I don't know. That's basically the only thing out of this that's worth pointing out there. We've touched on this so many times, but I just saw that report this morning, and I thought I might as well throw it up there just in case anybody hasn't seen it, and we'll see what it means. I don't know what it means necessarily. It's always weird, Like, that's not something that I wouldn't think that's like, wow, hey, man, we just came to the decision. This is something that's been brewing because all of a sudden recently, the last couple of weeks, there's been conversation like, oh, wait a minute, maybe he is the guy. Like, you guys have heard it. You guys have probably seen it everywhere. That's been the conversation. And that's just because the Lions have been playing better offensively. So I'm sure that's why it came about. Maybe someone dug into it and said, how do they really feel about this? Again, I don't know if they're actually getting this from someone in there. I'm sure they already kind of have their sense of what they want to go with. I thought I'd show it, though. So if anybody's got some thoughts, throw them in there. Regardless, though, anyone see Teddy Bruschi on ESPN dumping on the Lions? dude, you know what? The SpongeBob hoodie? Okay, Rad told me to wear it, man. I got it this weekend. I thought it was fire, dude. I was so pumped. Dude, when I got this. I'm like, this thing is so clean. I was hyped. So I was excited to wear this morning. I really was. Okay, let's do this. I think I might overdose on your videos. Okay, hey, man. Hey, everything's good in moderation, so don't overdo it. Except unless you watch those film videos. Those things are long as heck. So, I mean, you can't really, I don't know if you'll get through. If you get through one of those, if anybody's got through a full one of those, clap for you. I appreciate that because those things are like an hour long. I get it. It's weird. Yes, with that, let's do this. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Okay, there are some people throwing some stuff in here. We're going to hit on inactives first. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Guys, I'm all over the place. I don't even got my lights on. What are we doing? Come on, man. It's stuck on the other light. Oh, goodness. Okay, hold on. You know how we do, man. We can't do without the lights. What are we doing? Go underneath the light. There you go. All right. Look at this. Light us up. Go in the. Okay, that's better. That's what I like to see. Okay, let's do this. Okay, actually, Bo, you just hit on this. So let's start. Let's start with the Vikings first. I was doing more like research on the Vikings stuff, just trying to remember last time we played them, also what they're currently dealing with because, injuries change so much between now and then. So my man just said they put their inactives out. So we'll go through theirs first because there are some massive ones, and then we'll go through our inactive second because I think they were kind of more expected. Let's do this. Let's what did he say? Who's our starting slot corner? That's a great question. We're going to hit on that. I'm going to hit this first, and then I'll come revisit that. All right, first off, Vikings inactives. This is kind of massive. I did not expect to see Harrison Smith on this list after seeing that he's been practicing. That's the biggest one for me. Harrison Smith is a dog. Chat, if you don't know, Harrison Smith is a dog. You probably do know because you played him a lot. Last game, actually, against the Jets, he was like their best defense player. The dude had 2 pass breakups. He had an interception. He's always that dude for the Vikings that you kind of like, when you watch and see the field, you're like, oh, that guy's he's just lurking. He's just lurking all the time. So he's the dude on this defense, especially in the secondary that I don't think is very good. I don't know if I want to say that. It's not great. I'll say that. Okay, we'll be nicer about it. They're cornerbacks. Like, it's kind of questionable. The cornerbacks are kind of bounced around. Last week, they put a Caleb Evans, who's the rookie. He struggled last week. Patrick Peterson hasn't been like a dog this year. Some of that's due to pass rush, not being able to get there consistently. They just got Delvin Tomlinson back, so that should help them with Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith. That's a good 3 on paper. I mean, come on. Hey, Luigi's back? Hold up. We got Luigi. Oh, my gosh. Chat. Oh, I'm so glad you pointed that out. They got Luigi back on here. What? He didn't play last game. I don't think. Yo, we're winning. We're winning. No, wait, we're winning, bro. It's just meant to be if he's back on here. But yeah, they got a Caleb Evans. They just, their cornerback position's kind of a mess. And then you also have Christian Darris, so I'm glad you brought that up because that is kind of massive. Now, last week, their backup left tackle actually did play pretty well, but he gave up the 2 sacks technically in that game. So that is pretty big, but he'll be in that spot. And like I said, he didn't play bad last week. I can't think of his name, Brandel or something. I can't think of his name. The backup left tackle. He's a good run blocker. He is a good run blocker. So that's the biggest thing with this team because it all starts with Delvin Cook. It like really does. Like you think of Justin Jefferson, but then you watch him, you're like, oh, this is Delvin Cook. This is Cook's team, man. It's just, that's what it is. It's Delvin Cook. So we'll see how much of a drop off that is, but it is big for pass protection. Because, yeah, he did give up 2 sacks, and if it does come to that situation where we're able to put up points and force them to pass, then you expect that maybe someone can get going a little bit. Hey, remember, Charles Harris had his biggest game last year when they did not have their tackle. Now they had a guard at tackle. This guy's like an actual tackle, but I'm just saying. Calling it, JD blows up a screen pass to Hawk. I love it, my man. Can we get some birthday cakes in my guy? From my guy in the chat. Yes, man, I love this. Appreciate you. Good morning. How you doing, man? I love this. It's still morning. Yeah, it's not noon yet. This is beautiful. This is beautiful because I am very excited to see what Jared Davis does. I don't think he's going to play a ton, but he's going to play, right? The biggest question I have is Chris Board. What is his usage? How much do they put Chris Board in the action today? Because he is one guy that they have the new weapon. We all know, Chad. The new weapon of this team is TJ Hawkinson. So with that, Hawk gonna get lit up by Jared? I hope so. That's the weapon that we didn't face last time. And last time, if you watch, they didn't really use their tight ends much in the pass game at all. They had Irv Smith, and aside from that, usually the guys that stayed in line and blocked. Hawk's gonna be different. They'll line Hawk at the slot. They line him in line, but he'll run routes more often than seemingly what they did when they played us. So there's like a new kind of threat that they didn't really have last time. And we know Lions like to play a lot of man. When they did match up on tight ends, Malcolm Rodriguez would take it. They would just keep their linebackers on him. In the goal line, they put Deshaun Elliott in that spot, which is what I would still do. But I just wonder a little bit about that matchup because when Hockenson runs up the seam from an inline spot and you have a tight end on him who's like Malcolm Rodriguez that's 5'10", that may not be ideal. So you look at Duracell and you look at Chris Board and you say, hey, a guy that's 6'1", you use him on third downs. Does he get a little bit more action today because there is no Derek Barnes? I could see it. I could definitely see it. Okay. Man, chat, I'm missing so many comments. I apologize. So Jameson should go off today. You know what? I'm glad. This is interesting. He might. Look, I don't know. I still don't know how much he's going to play. I definitely think he'll play more than last week. But he could. He could have a big day. There's no question. Now, the question then is, like, how much attention does Minnesota throw to him? I'm not sure. Someone on the outside could have a big day today, and that's the biggest thing. They don't have a great cornerback room. DJ Chark could have another nice game. It's the Lions offense, right? How do the Lions feel like they can attack this team? The Lions probably feel like they can run on this team. I would assume they feel like they can run the ball much better than they could last week. And by how the Vikings like to play things and how by the Vikings do things, Lions may lean to the run a little bit more. Now, you got to think when the Vikings played us, remember, they started rolling safeties down because they had played up to that point like Green Bay and someone else. Green Bay and Philly. So they were playing two deep safeties all the time. So it was way different than when we played them. And for us, it was different at that time. And now getting J-Mo back, you got to believe that a big shot is set to happen. Without Harrison Smith back there lurking, now, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm preparing for him to play, but with him not there, you got to look for a shot over top, at least one, Chad. And that's what I'll give you. I think we get a bomb today, just like we did last week. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Romeo Quora is back. Yes, shout out to Luigi. Sorry, that's a great name, Luigi. Look, his name is Luigi Villain. Come on, man. It's almost villain. Luigi Villain. Stop. That is the oh gosh, that is a beautiful name. Whoever gave him that name, clap to you. His parents. Romeo is back. Yes. Chad, that might be the biggest one that no one's talking about. I mean, Jameson, obviously, but Romeo getting back out here without having their Christian Darrisaw for pass protection. I'm just so interested to see what this looks like. If we remember last time we played them, we played a lot of 4 down line. We played like a 4-3 defensively. And then when we went to sub package, we would just put Mike Hughes in the game and take a linebacker out. Usually Chris Moore was our third linebacker. So if the Lions go to that strategy, do they go Jared Davis, Malcolm Rodriguez, or Duracell? Or do they go Chris Board, Duracell, and Malcolm Rodriguez? I would think that they would probably lean more towards Chris Board because of his coverage. I don't know, though. But yeah, I don't remember what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, Romeo. Romeo's going to be massive, man. Romeo and Hutch. Woo, I'm excited. But then, of course, as we know, it starts with Delvin Cook. It's about Delvin Cook. It is about Delvin Cook, and we're going to talk about how I think we could get better at stopping them today. Romeo and Julian, right? No, Julian's on IR. Ben. Yeah, it's kind of one that's like hidden. He's on IR. Yeah, Julian's on IR. Good look. Hey, yeah, I'm coming check out your video later, J-Man. Hey, shout out to Jay. Is he in the building? He is. My guy's in the building. Hey, I apologize. We were going to do a show. It did not happen, so that's why I didn't text you. But shout out to you for popping in here, man. How you doing? Good to see you in here. We got to get him on for the post-game show too. Come on now. Hey, I'm gonna look. We gotta make something happen. It's been too long. I'm gonna reach out to Rand. I'm gonna reach out to you. So, hey, let's talk Lions. You know what I'm saying? Check your phone, man. With that though, let's go over to the Lions side, and then we'll start talking about this game because this is the big one. This is who we know, right? Who's inactive now? I don't think there's any surprises based on what we knew yesterday, but yes, man, love the pregame. You know what? It gets me going. It does. Yeah, it's. I struggle. I struggle on Lions mornings for some reason, like trying to fall. Like I fall asleep for some reason. Like I'll get up, I'm good. It's 10 o'clock, and then I start to fall asleep. I don't know why. So I need this because it's like, I got to get up and get this thing ready. Here we go. KO'd's out. So I expect Dan Skipper to start. Ross Pierce-Baker could get his first look today. I kind of doubt it, but I would expect Dan Skipper. Just hopefully it looks a little bit better. They have Stemberg as well. Barnes is out, which is why you guys are saying Jared Davis. Michael Brockers, healthy scratch. Evan Brown, he's out. So again, that's why we're looking at the third string right guard. Austin Bryant, apparently he's out. Wait, is that an injury one? I feel like that's a healthy scratch. I may be missing. This may be a healthy scratch. I don't really know. I think it is. I'm really off on this. I'll come back to that one. Will Harris. Someone asked earlier, well, who's going to be the slot? I think this might be the biggest loss. After seeing last week, I mean, I think you have to say right guard's the biggest loss, not having a right guard. But this is massive. This is massive, I think, not having Will Harris. Especially after seeing it last week. Just when you watch his ability to match up with tight ends, you're like, oh, this is nice. And I think this is the perfect team because they have a slot. They have like KJ Osborne, but he'll line up wide. They put Thielen in the slot. They put Adam Thielen in the slot. And last time we played him, we usually just had our cornerbacks like follow. So if Thielen went to the slot, Amani would stay on him. Which is why it would have been so nice to have Will Harris, because Will Harris probably would have just carried TJ Hockenson anytime he split out wide or split into the slot. So that would have been huge because I think he's really legit at playing on tight ends. Now it becomes the size mismatch with linebackers and who will start a slot. I would assume Mike Hughes starts a slot, and I think he can hold it down. I do, especially in the red zone. He's really good communicating in the red zone, very quick in the red zone. We know he's a short area guy. They could put him on the outside and put Jerry to slot. Doubt it. He hasn't done it. So I'd expect Mike gets to start at slot, which I think he'll be fine in this game. It's again, the biggest thing is the size. If he has to match up with Hockenson, that would be a matchup because of the fact that that's been his biggest issue historically is making plays catch point, even though he made a good one last week. So that one's huge. I mean, that one's huge to me. But yeah, I think Mike Hughes can hold it down. He struggled last time we played him. I think he can hold it down, though. I'm a Mike Hughes fan. I just think the matchup there would have been nice if it was the other way around. I would prefer to see a different matchup. I know I missed a lot of chats in here. Oh, you know what? No, let's save that for Keys because we'll save that for Keys because I want to touch on that. We'll save for Keys. Injury report. Okay, this is the Lions inactives. And then obviously Tom Kennedy's healthy scratch. I think Austin Bryant would be healthy scratch, right? Because if Romeo's playing, Julian's on IR. Well, you have James Houston, right? So there's two. You have Hutch. You would have Anthony Pittman. Is Anthony Pittman on the active roster? I don't even know. I think Anthony Pittman's on the active roster. He might not be. I don't know. I like seeing AB play though. I like having him out there, but this is really gonna be 37-40. You know what? I last night I fell asleep and I was like, man, this could be a 37-40 type. I mean, it could be a high scoring game. But then at the same time, I don't think it will be. I never do, and it always is, right? It always scores a lot more, I think. I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I think the Lions can score, but I think the Vikings run game will be huge. Third down is going to be the most massive thing, like it was last time we played them, is just getting on the field on third down. And I think a big difference this week is our growth, not weapon-wise, but our growth in terms of playing the run, this style that the Vikings play. Like if you watched the Vikings last time, they killed us, not in the trenches necessarily. They killed us with everything, all the cutbacks, everything that broke outside. There was a perfect example actually before I got on here. Amani, he just like dove inside on a receiver and the guy took off outside for like 12 yards. That's what killed us last time. I think there's a very big difference between us now and then. Having Jerry in that spot. Now Jerry's going to have to tackle. He missed a couple last week. Jeff in that spot, of course. I think that's a big difference, is that our growth in that area. And it really, that game, I feel like that game made us put that into like, oh, we have to circle. This has to be better because we are getting killed with everything that bounces or every cutback run. It's not going to be great because it's Delvin Cook and he's just a good running back. And they don't run block too bad, actually. Their run blocking is not too bad, even though they're missing their Garrett Bradbury, which is tough. That is tough. But I think that's a big difference for us, is I think we're just way better in that area than we were. Amani murdered us. Amani did murder us. How about Iffy? Yeah, I mean, I'll believe when I see it, I guess. It would make sense. But at the same time, they're playing him at safety. So they could play three safeties, but not really against this defense. You would have to basically play him as a slot, and the Lions have not done that. So you just have to play him as like a nickel slot, and I don't think they've done that. I'm not saying no one has a skill set to do it. I don't think he's as physical as Will Harris. Against the run at all, really. He's a fine tackler on the outside. I don't think he's very physical, but I would expect that he won't play. but in coverage, it could make sense. That's especially like in certain moments, it could make sense to throw him out there. I mean, hey, at some point he's got to get back out there, right? So maybe I don't know. Maybe this week, who knows, man? I mean, it's at some point he's got to get the look. Let's flip over. I'm gonna throw some stats on the screen. We're going to talk keys to the game. My keys. You guys can give your keys in the chat. I see you guys already throwing stuff in there. Let me. Oh, I don't know why I always do this backwards. Hold up. Hey, this beat's popping though, man. I'm serious. This is like one of those beats that I can repeat that thing. Actually, when we go like a couple hours, then I'm like, all right, this is hard, but it's good. It's good. I like this beat. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Let's do this. These are just stats. I didn't type up my keys to the game, so this is why I'm showing these. And I think this is fine because you can just read it. You can see these are all the Viking stats. These are not our stats. If you got a question about our stats, I probably pretty much know them, but anyways, let's talk about it. So my keys to the game, chat. Let's go. I'm gonna start on the defense side of the ball. Actually, I just hit the first one, so I'm not gonna spend too much time there. Contain. To me, it's the biggest thing. We always talk about cutbacks, everything that bounced outside on this team. The run game. And I think this is a big difference. I think we're just better. We're more disciplined in that area than we were when it came around. And it really forced us to put a spotlight on making this better because teams were starting to just say, hey, look, they don't handle sweeps. They don't handle pitches. They don't handle outside runs. And it really forced us to be like, man, we got to be better here. And that's just like being in the right spot. We got to stop getting squeezed in, pinned down, guy pops out. That happened so much. And this game was the game that the Vikings just went at us like that. So credit to them. But they exposed us a little bit in that area this game. Your hoodie characters are the Vikings. Yo, I actually have a shirt with the same faces on it. Same dude, same faces. And then on the back, there's all four of them doing that. It's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a sweatshirt, so it's back. Okay. We still put Okuda on Jefferson with safety help. Mike need to take Thielen solo and Jerry in the slot would be good. Okay, that's an idea. I think that would be possible if you would have had time to practice slot. I think that would make sense, and I think down the road Jerry could end up being a slot. I'm kind of in the same boat you are. I think there's a slight little idea maybe that could be thrown out there, but if I had to predict what will happen, I would assume it's like last time. Jeff Okuda gets Justin Jefferson. He's going to follow him around. Anytime he gets in the slot, and they line him in the slot, he'll get help from a safety. A safety will kind of roll down. Last time it was Juju Hughes. This time it'll probably be Elliott, but they'll probably roll down a little bit. And then when he's out wide, he'll man him up. And he'll still get some safety help. And then Jerry Jacobs will be opposite. He'll match up with Adam Thielen, even though they all kind of move spots. The biggest thing that you guys just hit on was actually my second point. Adam Thielen. Amani got killed last time. He got killed on Adam Thielen last time. Now, a part of that is if you're helping Jeff Okuda, you're probably not helping Jerry Jacobs. Now, you can do it. Like, if he was a 3rd and 10, I could double off and I could actually help with both my safeties. If you remember last time we tried to do that with Seattle, we had also Amani out there and it was bad because Geno Smith could take off. He took off a couple times, just picked up first downs because we were doubling both safeties and there was no one actually had eyes on the quarterback. Plus our rush lanes were trash, just being honest. But I think that's the biggest thing is that we know Jerry can be physical. Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne last week had 4 combined catches for 44 yards. That is massive. Just that matchup alone, I think, will change the game completely just to see how he hangs. I think Jerry's looking much better. And Thielen's not the kind of guy that gives, he's going to burn you over top. Oh, he's going to shake you at the line. Like, he's not that. He's more of the nuanced, type of route runner that's not the fastest. And I think for Jerry, with his physical style, that's why it matches up so well with Thielen. So I anticipate that that's going to be the biggest difference. And yeah, I think Mike Hughes gets to look in the slot or just the nickel. He'll be KJ Osborne, I think, most of the time. Maybe they go more zone. Maybe. I don't know. I would doubt it. It's probably going to be similar. I would think it would be similar. And then my final key is Hawkinson, of course. Who matches on Hawkinson? We kind of touched on that. Is that Chris Board? And it's going to be multiple guys. I would assume it'll be like last time. It'll be, base sets. Okay, hey, if you want to slide him out, okay, Malcolm will take him. And Malcolm's looked pretty good in coverage. He's pretty good in coverage. The issue is his size. That's the only issue. That's the only concern I have there, right? Duracell can hang with Hawkinson. He might be the best matchup, but he's going to have other responsibilities. I would assume it's not going to be like one guy takes him, but a Chris Board, it's the biggest question to me is what do Lions do on base downs? Do they go to the 4-3? And if they do that, do they put Chris Board in and rock with that? Or do they change it up like they have done week by week based on their personnel? Because if Romeo starts, you could go back to your normal 4-3. Bugs, Aleem, Hutchinson, Romeo, Duracell, Malcolm Rodriguez, and then put at the Sam spot, you could put Chris Board. Like, you could go back to that like you did last time you played them. So that's just the biggest question there because it's just a new weapon that we haven't seen us face yet because they do got a lot of weapons. I'll give them credit. They do got a lot of weapons. But I don't think it's going to be something that kills. I think we can hang just enough. I think we can hang enough. What's up, Daniel? Shout out to the Vikings fan here. I'm just worried about Mike in the slot. I feel like he better outside. I agree. I think he's better on the outside. I absolutely agree. I think he's better cornerback on the outside. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I agree. I think Mike Hughes is a better outside cornerback from down to down than slot. I think that's big time. I'll also say I think Mike Hughes has had more success on the outside versus slot too because of the nature of the position. Like, I feel like for most outside corners, if you throw them in the slot, well, not even that. Most corners thrown in the slot are going to be worse. The only thing that's probably going to backfire playing outside would be size and physicality for tackling, which slot has to have that anyway, or just size in general, where you're 5'10". It's like, this guy's way too small. But we do that. We sign guys that are that size, so we're cool with playing short corners. So it's like AJ Parker could not play man coverage in the slot. Mike Hughes is better at man in the slot, even though it's not been very good. So I'm with you. I think he's a better outside corner than a slot corner. I think some of that's the nature of it. The biggest thing here is that I wouldn't think that he'll get a ton of matchups, which could benefit him on, like, let's say Justin Jefferson gets put in the slot. Osborne is split out wide. I don't think they'll always I don't think we'll see much of, especially on early downs, Mike Hughes in the slot then on Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne on Okudah. I'm assuming they'll just latch on Okudah to Jefferson and say, you go take him in the slot. Mike, you're on the outside now, and we're just going to give you some safety help. That's kind of what they seemed to do last time. But I agree with you completely. Okudah's going to be a factor. Okudah's been better. This entire secondary has started to pick it up a little bit. Okudah's been better. Jerry Jacobs is getting his footing. I wish we had Will Harris because I loved how he played last week. Our pass rush should help. That's huge. Our pass rush got to get going. It's got to get going, man. And this is a week to do it. Their pass block rate is just, it's not great. So this is a week for us to get going. But I hate to say it because it sounds dumb, but it's just like, you got to stop Dalvin Cook. You got to stop Dalvin Cook, then your pass rush will get going. And maybe you get one of those Charles Harris types of games. Hey, Dion, in the draft, are we looking for an outside corner or slot first? Definitely outside corner. Definitely outside corner because the value usually leans outside corner. And to your point, I think you said this, I'd put Jerry in the slot. Like I think Will potentially could be a slot corner, but I would probably put Jerry in the slot because I think he could bring a lot of the similar attributes that Will does to make him successful. And I would try to grab an outside corner. The value is not really there to draft a slot corner high because if he's just a slot corner, he won't be on the field enough. You can put him in tough spots because he can't really match guys. It's not ideal. It's just the value's not there high enough. So I'd go outside corner and then find flexibility elsewhere. But you could definitely add both. If you feel like a guy's better at slot, you can add both for sure. Are you excited for a rivalry revenge game? I'm pumped. You like our coach? You like Dan Campbell? Hey, everybody likes Dan. I don't know about that. Hey, look, man. We were losing there for a minute, and I was kind of fired up. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, I'm cool now, man. I'm cool now. Just keep winning, my guy. Just keep winning, man. Just keep winning. But I always say right after the game, I'm telling you, I overreact right after the game. That's just is what it is. That's the nature of it. I can't help it. What do you want me to do? I put it out there as a disclaimer. Right after the game, you just got to know I'm going to be fired up. You got to give me time to like regroup, rewatch, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm cool. Watching Fox Sports pregame, 1 minute on Lions Vikes, 5 minutes on Baker Mayfield. And that game already happened, right? Oh, my goodness. Hey, that's how it is, John. Okudah, the Bermuda Triangle. That is fire. Okay, I rock with that. That's fire. Hawkinson versus Gang. Wait, what? What? Are you taking a quarterback with my first pick? No, I'm not. I'm very curious to see where that pick ends up now, Bo. Where does that go with? I think they're a 4th spot right now. I could be wrong on that. With now having 4 wins, they could grab another. I could see them grab another win, but that would be the max. I don't think they're going to win very much on the way out. Like, I don't think because they just beat the Raiders, who are a disaster and they can't hold a lead, that they'll win a lot. So I would expect that pick still going to be extremely high, but I wouldn't grab a quarterback with that pick. But at the same time, I say that just going based on position, not really knowing like if there's a quarterback out there that I love and I'm like, dude, I would just do it. I say that based on I wouldn't take that position, not knowing if there's that guy out there. We're getting Jalen Carter. Everybody wants Jalen Carter, man. His numbers have been down this year. I think he's missed some time this season, actually. So I want to revisit him because I remember last year coming out, that dude was crazy. And it was like, oh, okay, this dude might be the best Georgia defensive lineman. And now this year, I haven't seen a ton of him yet. I mean, everybody will see him in the playoffs. So if he lights that up, right, then that's – but I'm on board with that. Him being out, some people are making it. I know, but I don't think the age tells the story, man, because Harrison Smith ain't lost a step. Harrison Smith's still a dog. Like, he was a dog versus the Jets last week. He was a dog versus the Jets last week. Now, I say, they put Cameron behind him at safety. It's not that they're exposed in the back end. Like, when Juju had to come in, he actually played pretty well for us. I don't think the Vikings will be exposed back there because of that. But I think Harrison Smith is like, if there's a guy on that defense, I would say he's the game changer. It's him or Danielle Hunter. Hunter hasn't been as dominant recently, but those would be the two guys that I would circle because Hunter can stop the run really well. And we know that he has that opportunity to just take off as a pass rusher. But I'd probably even honestly circle just because you have to be aware that dude lurks, man. He's got it. He's got it, bro. Okay. Who would you take if the Rams pick 405? I mean, I'm looking at corner as soon as that happens. As soon as that happens, I'm looking at corner. I got to see who's there. Will Anderson's there. We're making the pick. But I'm D-line and corner are my top two needs. I did see the lines are favored. It's nuts. It is nuts. Okay. That's funny you said that. My offensive keys. So I did this before the inactives came out. My first one was Harrison Smith. But we talked about a cornerback. They got some weird things. They got a Caleb Evans starting, so I'm interested to see what that looks like. And then also pass rush. They didn't get to the Jets very often. I think you have to be smart about it. Having Dalvin Tomlinson back allows them to be on like the brink of, we could take off a little bit with Daniel Hunter and Zadarius Smith. Like, that's a legit 3. Like, that's legit. So, and they have Eric Kendricks, who is also a dog. Like, that's another guy. They really got dogs at every level. They got like one dog every level if you think about it, right? They got the who do they got? I'm missing it. They got Hunter, Kendricks, and they got Smith. And they're missing 2 of those dudes. Right? No, they're missing 1 of those dudes. Kendricks is a dog. I think did he have the interception on us last year? I think he had to pick on us last year. I don't know when Rad is coming. I don't know if Rad is coming, to be honest with you. He hasn't texted me or anything, so I don't know. Hey, look, it's early over there, right? He's 3 hours before us. Does that make sense? It's over there. It's 9:18. Rad, man, he's sleeping, bro. Hey, he's got some time off. He's sleeping. Starting right guard. I would assume it's Skipper. You guys usually know the things before I do, though. Somehow y'all get information, and I'm like, oh, how'd y'all know that? Like when Savion Smith started at safety, I had no idea. You guys were saying it. I'm like, why would he start at safety? He started at safety. I would assume Dan Skipper gets to start. Ross could. Stenberg could. I would assume it's Skipper, though. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like you don't really have a great option there regardless. So, it is what it is. I think you just have to go in expecting this is going to be a problem, but Skipper has had the most time. So you just hope that it's a little bit cleaned up. And I think he's been slightly better at right guard than left guard. At least he looked like that against the Bills. Jamal did an interview for Fox. Okay. This morning. Oklahoma City rocks the Vikings. All right. I don't know what that means. I see you, though. Yup. I'm an AZ. Okay. I must have missed something. Anyways. Do we need to go through these numbers at all? I don't think we need to go through these numbers at all, man. Yeah, I don't think so. But, I mean, you guys can see it. They're really not great in any category. They've played a lot of close games. They're 9-0 in 1-score games so far this season. So I feel like the luck's going to run out. I just do, but that's what I'm hoping for. Obviously, you see Kirk Cousins' stats. His stats are way down from last season. There's factors to that, of course. Their defense is kind of middle of the road at everything. Now, like we touched on cornerback, so I don't know if a Caleb Evans is actually going to start today. He did last week, and I don't believe it was because of an injury. They actually had Duke Shelley, who was the start on the outside. We know they got Cam Dantzler, who's kind of not been. And then they also have Patrick Peterson, who really hasn't been Patrick Peterson. I guess Patrick Peterson was kind of supposed to be the dog at corner. I would think that was kind of the mindset. He hasn't really been that. And they got to get more pressure to help him, I would think. I mean, you got to get after it a little bit more. Hutch King 3 sacks, called it here. I'm down for that, dude. Let's let him go again. Let's go crazy. What up, Dose? Chat. Love the channel as always. Appreciate you. Like button is smashed. Appreciate Elijah. Vikings corners suck. How can't wait. We're underrated. Okay. 10-3. Do you draft an offensive tackle guard in this draft? Yes. I would draft a guard for sure. I mean, tackle could be in play. I would definitely go get a guard though, because I'm just assuming Big V won't be here next year unless he takes a pay cut. So I would be forced to. If he is here, I don't know if you draft a guard. I don't know if you do. If he's still here, I don't know if they draft a guard just because they're not going to move him out of that spot. They have Tommy Kramer still, which I always forget about. I think you draft starters. You try to draft developmental starters or they are starters. So I would think I'm probably going to end up having to take a guard. Let's go. Will Harris out. Best news I've seen today. Man, I don't agree, bro. I don't agree, man. I don't love that news, but I do like Mike Hughes. Y'all know I like Mike Hughes, but I don't agree, man. I think Will's been really solid he's been pretty legit at slot. I know like there's weaknesses in his game. There is. He's not going to be dynamic as a man coverage corner, but again, he's playing slot, and that's not like natural for him. He's a really weirdly built slot corner because he's not a slot. But I thought he played real well last week, especially on Evan Ingram. Like he handled his business on Evan Ingram. Get a quarterback of the future with your first pick. Trade up for their what did it say? For their second pick. 2 players very on defense. The offense is a mobile quarterback away. Man, well, that's interesting you say that. You guys know my stance on it. I don't think we need a quarterback. I think Goff is the future. But they put that article out this morning, man, and I don't want to make too much of it because I don't. Where does that even come from? Like I could put that out there, right? Hey, look, I believe he's gonna be the future. Like y'all know that. So, but I think it's interesting. That's gonna be something that's gonna be stuck with for a while. What's up, Kobe? How you doing, man? Big V might take a pay cut. Then we have Evan, Kramer, and Ayo. Yeah, that's my thing. That's what I'm thinking. I would think if he comes back, I would think you wouldn't draft a guard. I mean, you could if you just have too many picks, but to Bo's point, like you could just keep stacking defense, and I think they need to keep stacking defense for sure. High scoring game. St. Brown 2 touchdowns. Swift 1. J-Mo long. Someone's gonna get a long shot today. It's just got to happen. It will happen. I guarantee it will happen. It will happen today. And it may be J-Mo. Because you know they're going to give him a look. They're not going to go through the game if J-Mo plays 18 snaps and not give him a shot downfield. I would so shocked that they didn't. But at the same time, if J-Mo's like right, I would love to see them hit him with a bubble, hit him with a quick screen, like a screen quick. I would love to see him hit him with something like that real quick in the game. I would love it. Just give him 5-6 yards because he has that ability to just break it. He's got juice. I love him with the ball in his hands. And that's what I expect when he's him. I don't know if he's that right now, but when he is that, I am excited to see what that looks like. What would you do if the Lions won today? I don't know. Hey, I pulled up that playoff predictor. Hold up. You know what I mean? Yo, this is the game though, chat. This is why there's hype though. This is a massive game. Like, yeah, you can still get in with 9. You could lose and still get in. But this is massive. If you pull this off, you put yourself in such a good spot. If the Lions win, I'm looking right at, did the Giants win? Did the Giants win? Because Washington's got a bye, right? Or is it Washington has the game and then the Giants? Washington has the bye. I'd be looking right at that Giants game. Hold up. Did the Giants lose? That's exactly what I'm doing immediately. And then I'd start talking crazy and be like, hold up. Could the Vikings actually lose out? Like that would be my next thought. Let's get it. Best game of the year coming up at home. You love to see it. 4 to 6 targets today. I would love that. Now, the only thing I would say, and I agree, I think 4 to 6 makes sense, is just that as a whole, I anticipate the passing to pull back a little bit. Now, it's hard to say that because having J-Mo back is something we've never had. So if you guys think about it, we've never had this on the outside with Goff. Never had this. We've had never anything close to this. And I don't even know what J-Mo's health is at. I don't even know how much he plays. But if he would, like, let's just pretend J-Mo was like 80, 90%. We've never had that on the outside. So I don't know what that means for Ben Johnson. I anticipate they're going to pull back, run a little bit more, because last week it made sense to throw more, just like get back on what they normally do and what they'll do to a Vikings team. But this is brand new as well in the sense that we don't know what the heck they're going to try to do with these two dudes. And they have a plan for them. Can I get a ha-ha Packers fans? Okay. Okay. I like that. Hey, neither of us like the Packers. We on board. If Roquan is a free agent, how much do you pay or do you draft one? I don't have an issue with bringing Roquan. He's a dog, man. I mean, wait, how would he be a free agent though? Didn't he get extended? He got traded. He didn't get extended. Well, if he was a free agent, I would definitely be fine going after him. But I'm like I said, I can't give you an exact number because I don't know where everything's going to line up positional wise next year with the salary cap. But I would say I would not pay monster money to a linebacker for multiple years. I would not do that. I'm not putting myself in that spot. It's different if it's like a short-term older guy. That's different, and he's really good still. It's different if it's middle of the road, fine. But I wouldn't like go out there and make him like, hey, $20 million a year. Like I couldn't do that. Nah, not to a linebacker. I'll take that $20 million a year, go get myself another dog at receiver, go get myself the top corner available. Like I would rather do that. We've never had never near that speed. Oh my goodness. Like St. Brown's a dog. He is awesome. But that speed, we've never had that. We've never had two like potentially legitimate outside receivers on the field at the same time. I don't say that as like, bring no one down, but like, yeah, I mean, our outside receivers is usually Josh Reynolds and Collie Freeman. So I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know. Never traded Hawkinson. They didn't see okay, I kind of agree with, I wouldn't say I agree with that. I don't agree with that, but I get what you're saying. But I think that's why the move makes sense, because you were able to pivot away from it and say, man, we're still really effective offensively. I think it speaks to your confidence in Ben and what they can do with this offense. But also at the same point, I think a big part of that trade, I think it was two things. I think one, I don't think they looked at Hawk as a top tier tight end, which I don't think he is. And then also the big thing there is just the money giving to a tight end. It's kind of like linebacker in a sense, but just more so like, especially with the offense that we've been able to prove that we can do, and we're not even like all the way there. Paying that much to a tight end is tough. Not many teams do it. Very, very, very few teams pay a lot of money to a tight end. I don't think Brad was on. Like, you got to think where Brad's coming from, what he's been with. I don't think he's against drafting and bringing in tight ends, but I think paying top dollar for a tight end, especially in this stage, is not something that he's looking forward to or looking to. So as soon as, because again, I don't think they were going to trade Hawk. I think it was available, but I think because Irv Smith went down and they knew he was out and they were like, man, we got to go get a tight end, because there was that desperation from the Vikings. They said, you know what? This is an offer we can't pass. We're going to take it. And it wasn't like a crazy offer, but it was pretty good. You got, 2-day twos, right? So I think that's really what it came down to. And obviously they're still, doing what they're doing, is getting coaching offers next season. I was talking to Rad, man, and I was like, dude, I'm so nervous about Ben Johnson leaving. He's like, oh, he won't leave, man. He won't leave. He has to go win and stuff. But can Detroit keep him? I would love for them to keep him. I don't know how you keep him around. I hope they can keep Ben Johnson around. I'm not sure how. And if they don't, how much it'll affect Goff. I think it'd be massive. I think it's massive. Now, the biggest question to me there would just be, what does it look like beyond? Because I don't know what it would look like. I mean, if Ben Johnson left, you would assume you'd have to have more success. Not to say the offense hasn't been successful, but just in the sense of you probably have to keep winning. So then who would be your succession? Would it be a new guy? I kind of doubt it. Who would be the guy within that coaching staff that's already there that could step into that role? There's kind of guys that maybe could do that, like John Morton sitting there. Maybe he could step into that role. I mean, he's been an offensive coordinator before, learning with Ben Johnson, where Goff's comfortable. He works with quarterbacks. He could step into that role potentially. I know he's not the youngest guy. Mark Brunell, like probably not Mark Brunell, but can someone step into that role? If so, that would be huge. But that would be the biggest thing for me. Absolutely. That'd be the biggest thing. But I don't look at that as a knock on the quarterback, because I just think that's like, I'm not saying you do this, but I think just in general, like the national media tries to make it so much about this guy. It's all this player. It's a quarterback, it's a quarterback league. It's just about the players. Like, they just try to take coaching out of it as much as they can. And it's crazy to me, because when you start to see it, you're like, oh my goodness. Like, what Ben Johnson's doing, it's genius. Like, he's doing so many great things, and you start to realize, like, oh wait, every quarterback that's successful has this. I mean, look at the transition for Mac Jones without an OC now, with Matt Patricia calling plays. Like, I don't think that's a knock on the quarterback, but I think what's the biggest thing is like, oh, look what he can be. Like, oh, hey, wait, like, look what he could be if the coach knows what he's good at and puts him in that spot. So I think that's what I take away from it, because every successful quarterback probably has a good coach leading the way. Probably. I mean, unless you're Tom Brady, then it probably don't matter. But still, if Ben leaves in 2024, do you keep Goff? I don't even know. I mean, if Goff's here through 2024 and he's playing well and Ben Johnson's here and then he leaves, I'd keep Goff. I wouldn't be in like, Ben's gone. We got if that is the case, I'm paying Ben. Like, nah. Because that would mean that Goff is playing well, Ben's doing well, so well that he gets a job. I would have moved Goff just as soon as my OC goes. Like, that would be, you know what I'm saying? That would be kind of crazy. And a good offensive mind, I gotta believe. Like, think about this though. This isn't like we hired Sean McVay and we're like, how do we land this guy? And I'm not taking anything away from Ben. Ben has been fantastic. He's probably been our best coach on the team, realistically. But he has never done this before. And you're talking about a guy that's taken some of the stuff in the Rams. You can see it. kind of mold into this offense. He's a young mind that's very smart. And there's got to be other guys out there that can do similar things and say, oh, this is what Goff does well. And if you don't get that guy, then you made a mistake. So you didn't hire the right guy. If a guy can't make it work, now you've already seen, well, hold up, it can work. So what is this guy doing? This guy ain't the right guy. If you can't make it work, and he did, this OC ain't the right OC. I don't think Ben Johnson is the best offensive coordinator of all time. I can't believe that, but he's very good. He is very good. I don't know how to put that in there. Pay Ben more than Dan. Yeah, I'm paying Ben. Come on. Hey, Sheila, look. Sheila. Come on, man. You hit him with a couple forwards. You know what I'm saying? Take care of the man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Man. Lions need to keep playing clean football. That's been massive too, right? That has been massive. The pass protection has been huge. I mean, the Lions' last 4 or 5 weeks have not had flags. They have not beaten themselves, and that's been huge. That's a fantastic point. Definitely goes under the radar for sure, but it's a fantastic point. Penalty free. Yes, there you go, John. You just hit on it. You said last 5 weeks. Boom. Right? I mean, it's been, I think going back to the Green Bay game, they had 7. Since that time, it's been like 4 is the most. They had 1 last week, 2 the week before. It's been like 3. It's been in that range. And are not like, I can, if it's a holding, it stinks, but I can understand like how a holding comes about, and it's holding. But a false start, it's like, come on, man. Decker, why are we false starting, bro? You in this offense, how long, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of thing's frustrating. Jamal, what are we doing? But, the holding stuff you can live with, but they're not doing those right now. That Austin Bryant flag was a disaster. Yes, that was a disaster. If we're talking defense, yeah, that was terrible. Red wouldn't cut the dude for that. Hey, he said, hey, my boy played a good game. Now he's gone. Oh, my goodness. It was that big, though. It was that big, though. 3rd and 10 from, the 15? I don't think they're getting that. I mean, they might. I don't think they're getting that. I don't know. Jets and Vikings are both solid teams. I think the Lions would trade the Rams pick for more draft capital. I think so, too. They got a really nice offer. I mean, if you're going to trade back, you're going to get a legit offer. Definitely. He said 56-2. Hey, you know what? We're getting a safety. That's some prop bet, bro. If you think they're going to score 2 points, you might want to throw something to that. I'm not, I'm just saying. Your coach is cool. All right, chat. Look, we've been rolling for about 50 minutes here. We're going to start to recap and then finish this thing up. I appreciate you, Gritty. Appreciate you who said that, Bill. Hey, appreciate you guys coming in, man. It's a lot of fun, man. I appreciate the love early. We are going to go live for the game. I will throw this out there, though. Let's start going score predictions, man. Everybody in the chat, start giving us your score predictions. And tell me who wins. Don't just put a score, because if you're a Vikings guy, I won't know. Most of you are not. But there you go. I see you, Jeff. 34-30. Throw your score predictions in there. And please, if you get it right and I don't remember, tell me after the game. Be like, man, I nailed the score prediction. Go check it out. And I'm like, oh, snap, you did. I'm sorry. I haven't even been throwing stuff on the screen, but they're all right here. A kickoff timer on the screen. A kickoff timer. Oh, like a countdown to kickoff? That'd be kind of fire, right? I could just do it to 1 o'clock. I got to do that. You're right. You know what? New edition coming soon. Kickoff timer. New edition coming soon, man. I want to check real quick just to make sure we ain't got no more news with before this game. Sometimes they throw out some like little stuff like, oh, hey, this thing's going to happen. Or this guy's on a snap count. I just want to make sure I don't miss nothing. It is on Fox. It is on Fox. You can listen on Lions Radio Network. So there you go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, hold up, chat. I got to show this because people are going to be hyped. Look. Oh, my goodness. Why do they do us like this, man? Y'all need to stop. I'm going to show this. I'm going to get to your predictions in 1 second. Y'all going to see this, man. Come on now. That gets everybody hyped. Man, I'm so excited for this dude. All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at what the score predictions are. I'm going to check it out, man. 30-24, 40-27, 34-10, 31-28, 31-17, 35-20. Hey, Lions dubs across the board, bro. Look, now I feel like there's some closer scores in here than there were last week. A lot of those, there's some 2 scores though. Ryan's got 2 scores. You know, my man said 34-10. Okay, a lot of dubs. Even my man Bo. I see you, Bo. Yeah, there's some 2-score wins actually. Yeah, there's some confidence. I don't know. He might be picking. No. He's picking Lions. He would have put that in there. Lions by 10. I see you, Nappy Head. Nappy head tail. Lions by 6. I like that score. 35-29. I like that. Something the score I wrote down immediately was 27-19. That's a lot of field goals. I don't know how good I feel about that. 19? It's a lot of field goals, man. I don't know. I really want to pick a 2-score win. You had a close last week, 38-14. Dang. You were close. Dang. Hey, I'm not hating, bro. If you pick a 4-score win, I mean, after last week, I think we could win this thing by double digits. But I would just have so much respect for what the Vikings can do offensively that I can't. And I think our red zone defense it's going to be better today. It's going to be good today. I'm going 27-19 Lions. Or 19-27. That's what I'm going. It feels weird. 27-19 is a lot of field goals, but that's what I'm rolling with, man. He said 325 and 3 touchdowns. I love that. Picking Detroit to make the playoffs now. It's a bad sign. Man, that stuff is crazy, isn't it? I like Rad says, hey, don't get on now. Don't get on now. He said, stop a lying. I see what you did there. Daniel, that was creative. I rock with that. Every Minnesota game is the same. It comes down to last possession. That's fact. So maybe I'm on board making that 8-point game. That's a 1-possession game. That is a 1-possession game. I'm going, yes, Romeo is playing. I just don't know how much. They said they have a role for him. That could be designated pass rusher. John Kaminsky starts, Josh Paschal, and then they'll just rotate him on the pass downs. It's possible. Because that's real quick, that's a dog lineup. You put Hutch, Romeo, James Houston, and John Kaminsky on the field on 3rd down. Stop. That's tough. That's tough. But no, I think he'll play more than that. I think he'll play more than that. Except when they get blown out. Yes, that would be very unfortunate. So let's not talk about that. Ed W. It's all about coaching. Nathan Campbell shows coaching improv on this game. 33-28 Lions. I love that, Ed. I like the confidence. He said it's all about coaching, and he took the dub. So he believes, man. I see you with that, Lion. You're more worried about Just Jefferson over Cook. I mean, it's fair. It's fair to be worried. I think by the way we'll play him, I'm more worried about Cook. But look, I ain't going to hate you for that. That makes sense. Unless we play him differently, then yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for Jeff, though, because this is a big game for Jeff. I mean, he got a lot of hype after last game, even though they double teamed him a lot. But he still got a lot of hype, and I think he played well last week. I think this is a big game for Jeff. We isolated him one-on-one a few times last week against Marvin and Zay Jones. Said, handle it, handle your business, and he did. So I think this is a big time game. I mean, this is real tough matchup, but a big time confidence boost as well. This could be his pivot game in the NFL, where you look and say, wow, that was the game he kind of turned the corner. Hutch with another interception, rookie of the year. I hope so, Bo. That would be amazing. All right, chat, we're going to wrap this thing. We've got about 20 minutes till kickoff. We will be live for the game over here. Shout out to all the predictions. And yeah, man, tune in if you want to. I plan to do a post-game show with Rad, even though he didn't hop in this morning, but it's all good. We plan to do a post-game show afterwards on, I think, his channel. So if you guys want to tune in to that, go for it. I'll put the link up in the community as usual. And on top of that, I don't know. We'll see if we can get a guest in there. Hopefully, and we will be talking about that. So, by the way, quick shout out to Liquid IV. Hey, look, by the way, I want to just say something real quick about Liquid IV. This stuff is fantastic. I got to get more, actually, because I'm almost out, and I drink this stuff like they got sleep ones, too, now. I'm like, what? I love this stuff, especially for the morning. Gets me going. But, oh, Walmart. I saw him at Walmart. I did not see him at other stores. I saw him at Walmart, and I was like, you know what's sad about this? I don't want to buy it because I can't use my discount code here. I believe you can still get 25% off using my discount code on Liquid IV, Dose of Dion. That's it. Dose of Dion, 25% off. And link will be in the description of the live game stream, too. So, yeah, man. We out. Appreciate y'all coming in for another pregame show. We'll be back, man. We'll be back for the game. If Rad drink Liquid IV, he'd wake up for afternoon. Hey. Hey, it's 9:40 over there. It's 3 hours, but maybe that's what I need to do. I need to send him some Liquid IV. You may take that. That might be the next thing, Jordy. That might be the next thing. Yes, Packers are whack. Pack is whack. All right, we out, man. Again, we'll be live on this channel. Where's my outro? There it is. Speed's popping, though.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.